Hey there, I'm Scott Rendall. I'm here with Stephen Hoodelbrink. Stephen is an SEO expert. Stephen, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Scott. How are you?
Doing fantastic. So tell us a little bit about you. I've known you for probably what 8 or 9 years now, but
Yeah.
why don't you tell the viewers who you are and what you do?
Okay. Um, I started in the cleaning industry when I was about 16 years old and worked for a company here in Ohio. I was a cleaner slash restorer for about 10 years. I'd had a little go at owning my own company. And I've always had a love for computers. And it just so happens life worked out in a way that I helped a friend of mine rebuild their website. And then eventually some other cleaners saw it, asked me to build them a website, and I became a web builder and just completely switched careers. And then I learned that, well, I've built these websites, now they need to be found online. So I began studying on how to do that and going to seminars, just reading online tutorials, just everything that you could possibly read. I just spent hours upon hours, and I still do. I still stay on top of all of that. I probably spend 20 hours a week researching stuff easily. Just what's the newest thing coming, what not to do, what to do to get found on the search engines. And my company is called Be Found USA. I'm a co-founder with a gentleman named Daniel Jones, and what we do is build websites and then help your company get found on the web on all major search engines.
Do you work specifically with the carpet cleaning industry, or do you have other accounts?
Um, 90% of our clients are cleaning and restoration clients. It's really easy for us because we both have been in the industry, Daniel and myself, to write content, understand a business model. I worked for three different companies throughout my career. All of them mainly high end, but they all still some of them still did coupons and stuff like that. So I understood the marketing aspect of that. So it doesn't really matter if somebody is a coupon cleaner that has, multiple trucks that does that, or if, they're just a smaller owner operator or, a couple of trucks, two to three, that are on the higher end spectrum. So, yeah, most of our clients are cleaning restoration professionals, but we're expanding now just because we have gotten such um, an established client base that because one of the things that we offer is guaranteed exclusivity. So we won't compete with ourselves with a similar company in an area. So we're kind of spreading ourselves, a little thin. Um, and we're starting to work with other service-based companies, but then there's also some retail locations that we're working with too.
Okay, so is that exclusivity just with the service side or with retail too?
Um, Retail too. Like for instance, one of our clients, he's local to me here. He sells refurbished Apple products, and he does computer repair and stuff like that. So we have a guaranteed, basically a 50-mile radius that we won't work for anybody else that does those types of services. Same thing with the carpet cleaners. There are some times where we can work with two different companies. An example of that would be is if somebody's cleaning only, they don't perform restoration, and there's a lot of restoration contractors that don't perform cleaning.
Hmm.
They sub all their cleaning out. That's the only time that we'll work for two different companies in the same area. But what we like to do is try to get those relationships built because a contractor needs a cleaner, and a contractor is very valuable to a cleaner because all the soft goods after fires, duct cleaning and stuff like that after mold and fire, it ends up being a really good relationship. Plus, we have more market share SEO wise in that area, and we can do a lot of interesting things with the links that we build between those two companies. So we can actually create some interesting systems with multiple companies, which we've been trying to pitch that idea of getting people to form little groups of service-based businesses so that we could do some pretty amazing things, marketing them online all together where everybody wins. So,
Okay. All right. Well, let's kind of jump into the meat and bones. Let's say that I'm kind of new to the web. I might have just built my own website, or perhaps I'm just thinking about building my own first website.
mhm.
Let's you put jump into my shoes and tell me what I should do first.
Well, the one thing Um, it really boggles my mind how many people don't do research first, um, to find out where the work is in your demographic. Like you may know it for print, but there's a lot of different research that you need to do, to find out what keywords are actually working. The easiest way to do that is to go into Google and type site, SITE, with a colon, and first search for carpet cleaning in your city. Find the person that's ranking number one, and then type site colon and then their web address. What that'll actually do is pop up every single title tag to that person's website, so you can actually see what keywords they're trying to rank for.
Okay.
Begin jotting those down and figuring out, because not all of them are going to be carpet cleaning, city state. There's going to be some other valuable keywords that you can find in there, and that's just another way to find keywords, because the Google Keyword Planner is okay. It works all right. And looking through AdWords to find that type of stuff through their interface that Google gives you. But really, the easiest way to not have to purchase any software or anything is to, use that site lookup method, and that'll show you basically their whole site map of what Google's index, and you can look at title tags, because title tags are going to be the key to what people are, uh, what they're marketing their website with, and it'll show you every single page. So that'll give you an idea of what you'll want to make your pages about, but then you also have to remember that you don't want to copy and paste what your competitors have done, because you'll get in trouble with the duplicate content penalty that Google has. You want to make everything very unique, but you still get a really good idea at what they're doing, and you want to mimic it but do it better. And there are ways that you can, you'll find that they're not doing something really great, and you can maximize on that. So research first is what I would suggest.
Okay, so I've done all my research. I've found out my keywords. Let's say I have not yet built a website. What do I do?
Um, I really like WordPress websites. It's what I mainly work with. I think WordPress is very powerful. It's very feature rich, and you can download a lot of free themes that you can customize yourself. To be honest, when people come to us, they want something more than that, because they want to create a brand, and we understand how to create a brand online. So that's why people come to us. But I'm not going to, belittle or badger the person that wants to do it themselves. We're actually working on next year of coming out with pre-built themes that have a visual editor that makes it drag and drop. So you still get the powerful, feature-rich um, platform like WordPress, but it makes it very easy for the user to make changes instead of not having to know code. If I were brand new, that's what I would do. I would go, find a theme that you can use, and the free ones are nice because you can install and activate and deactivate, and you can find out what really works for you. And then the next thing that I would install is a plugin, and that's Yoast SEO plugin, to be able to
How do
deal
you
with your
how do you
metadata.
spell that? Yoast, you
Y
said?
Yoast.
Yoast.com or Yoast.
You can actually go in the WordPress dashboard. There's a plugin section. You can click Add New,
Okay.
um, and then you can click. You can type and search for it, and it'll show right up. And you just simply click Install, then click Activate, and then you go into the settings and configure them.
Okay.
After that, you go to your pages, and you can when you edit your pages, you click on each page that you've made. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll see the Yoast section, and you can customize your title tag. You can also put a focus keyword that you want to focus for, and what that will do is it will search your title tag, your content, and images and such to make sure that that keyword is in there. You don't want to stuff your content with it, but it should be in at least the title tag, the meta description, and at least in the content once or twice. More than that, and Google's going to think you're keyword stuffing. Meta keywords you don't have to fill out. I don't even bother filling them out anymore, because most people have used it, and when they do, you actually can get a slight penalty for that. And that can mean the difference between a second or first position is that little penalty. So I wouldn't use meta keywords anymore, but meta description and the title tag, absolutely.
Okay, and so if I'm what if I had a website that I've already built or have had for a while and I'm just not happy with it? At what point should somebody say, you know, I think I need to redo this? At what is there some kind of tipping point that says your site is beyond help and you should start over from scratch, or is there like do you need to look at it first, or how does that work? How would I know?
There's we do provide site rebuilding. I mean, there's times where like their brand, the brand that they're trying to create is there. It's just that the content and really the message isn't there. So what we can do is we can take a look at that, and there's been a couple of clients where we've just made some very small changes. Putting content on your site is invaluable. A lot of them lack content, and in this day and age, to compete online, it's not really SEO anymore. It's content marketing, and that's a totally different thing. Google likes content. The longer you can keep people on your website and make it easy to click through and find information, um, the more you're going to win. That's just really it. User-friendly websites that are full of content that they're going to stay. Having videos on your website, that type of thing. Um, People are very visual. We're a very visual society now. Not a lot of people like to read. So having videos, images that are very easy to see, content is still good, but you want to have a balance of, content and images. You don't just want a lot of pages of text. You want to break that up somehow. If you can do it with a diagram, or, we use a lot of stock photos, a cute photo of a child, something that gives them a warm, fuzzy feeling. Um, and really back to your original question, when do you make that decision? Well, when your website's not working and you're not getting any calls, there's a reason for it. Simply installing Google Analytics code to be able to track to see how many people are going and watching the user flow. I watch that a lot. I look to see where users are going, because that'll tell us, if they're finding a certain page a lot and then they're just going away and you're not getting a call. um, there's a reason for that. They read something they didn't like, or you didn't answer their question. So the thing is, you have to put your consumer hat on and just really figure out, what do people really want. And for different demographics, it's going to be different. For maybe the coupon cleaner, they want a deal, and that's all that they want. For the high-end client, they want to make sure that you're not going to go in their house and wreck their house. They want to see corner guards. They want to see drop cloths on their really nice hardwood floor. They want to see you put shoe covers on, and you have to be able to send that message to your website, but do it in a very simple way to where it makes them easy to make a decision. Not to say that a client doesn't have to, or a prospect doesn't have to click on every single page on your site, which helps with your ranking. If you can drive traffic and make people stay on it and navigate through, you can actually rank because of that. I've seen websites do that with very little backlinks, very little, really anything. They just drive traffic. But really, what it comes down to is, if your website's not working and you're not getting calls, you invested, even if it's just your time and you did it yourself, that's a waste of time. You're not getting a return on investment. Most of our clients, at a very bare minimum, see at least a 5-to-1 return on investment. Um, Whether it's their website and SEO with us or what have you. Uh, that's something that's very important, because I understand that numbers really well with the business, and that's one of my most important things, is that my clients are all getting a return, because I want you to make money. I get the satisfaction of people succeeding. It really makes me feel good, and it's kind of nice because I can still be within the industry, but I can still, I can be in it in a way, but then again, not. So.
Okay, well, maybe I should have said this before. Full disclosure, Steven is our SEO person. He's helped us rank, and he's done very well for us. As a matter of fact, one of the things I noticed after we've had our website rebuild, that we did, we actually redid our own website, and you came in and did the SEO, is our most popular page now is the About page. And as a high-end cleaner, I thought that was pretty unique, because in the past it would be, you know, Okay, fine. We'll see. When I say the most popular, I mean which they're traveling to
Right.
after they've hit the first page, which is usually the home page. So they hit
Yeah.
that home page, and the next thing they're looking at after that first click is the about page. And so what we've done, and maybe you can expound on that, what a good about page should look like. But we noticed a ton of more calls, more qualified calls, and if they've been to that page. Now, if they just saw us on our Google listing or something, they're just
Hmm.
kind of doing the old yellow page shuffle where they're just kind of going through the whoever ranks and giving that person a call. But if we know that they've been on our website and they've been to our about page, they've just qualified themselves a lot more than somebody who hasn't. So, can you expound on the about page or whatever the most important page is on your website or page is on your website? I know they're
Yeah.
probably all important, but let's start
Sure.
with the most important ones.
Okay. Well, I mean, first important one is the home page. Obviously, that's going to be your main landing page until you can establish a reputation, build up your domain authority, and make it to where your internal pages can actually start coming up for search results, which that's a method that you can use for long tail keywords. You can create pages that will help those rank. But that's a totally different subject. Your home page, you want to make it easy for them to find your number. That's most important, or at least email, some way to contact you. You want to make that information above the fold, which means before you scroll. You have to think about that on all different devices. You have to think about it not only on a computer, but you have to think about it on a mobile tablet as well. Obviously, the top of the page is going to be best. WordPress has a plugin that it's called the Call Me plugin, and you simply install it and type your number in, and it adds a little call icon down at. You can tell it where you want it. You can put it on the bottom right, bottom left, or all the way across the bottom. So no matter where they're at on your website, that stays right there, and it's not too obtrusive, intrusive to the content or anything,
Mm-hmm.
but they can call you at any time, which just makes it absolutely amazing. And if you really wanted to, you can see that there's an advanced option in there, and you can actually track to see how many people tap that
Hmm.
through Google Analytics. You can set that up to see how many people are using your button to call, because most people, more than 60%, I think it's up to like 75% of searches now, are done from a mobile phone. And that's how people view the web, from a mobile phone or a tablet. Very few use a desktop anymore.
Hmm.
Uh, so the next important, I agree, an about page is really important. What I would put on there, is company history, and why you're different. Some other things that I like to put there, or at least allow them to navigate to another section, is kind of like a before we arrive. So they know what you're expecting from them, and they're expecting clean results, and for you to treat their home with respect, and the people that are in their home with respect, and they want a good job, and they want to feel they've spent their money well. But it's another opportunity to put something like before we arrive, moving small breakables away for carpet cleaners and stuff off of small stuff. I mean, because we've all been there. You go into a home and somebody isn't prepared at all.
Oh
And a
yeah.
lot of it is because, they didn't know, or somebody on the phone didn't tell them. But, if they know that that's what you're expecting, then that just makes your job a lot easier. And then I also like to put some like aftercare stuff. It's a good time to mention like Scotch guarding, things like that, to improve the life of the carpet. Um, Slip and fall stuff. Make sure that they're taking caution from walking the carpet to hard surfaces. How often they should have their carpets cleaned. How often just little stuff like that. It's kind of pre-selling them as well. That's really what your website site should do, is pre-sell them on stuff. And then you use your internal systems to remind them of that. You see our website, yeah, okay. Now, did you read the section about Sketch Card? And they're like, yeah, we did. What is
Mm-hmm.
that? And then
Mm-hmm.
they ask the question. So, um, using your website to sell, that's what it is. It's your big sales page, and it can be multiple sales pages. Obviously depending on services. On your about page, I know you have a menu usually up at the top that should have your services. I'm a big fan of actually writing out the services. You know, your top. I mean, if you offer 6 to 8 services, which some companies do because they've diversified so much, you know, your big 3 or 4, maybe 5, you want them spelled out. I'm not a really big fan of a services tab so much, um, but there's still some people that use it, a services tab, but because a lot of them don't know to go there for a drop down. And if you know, you have the home button, your about button, carpet cleaning, tile cleaning, upholstery cleaning. Honestly, a lot of times I combine carpet and upholstery on the same page, just because when I create a page, I'm wanting it to be found, and not a lot of people search for upholstery cleaning, um, but it's good information to have there. I think for the most part, the public understands that if you clean carpet, you clean upholstery too. You know, you can kind of thank Stanley Steamer and stuff for that because they, you know, pretty much marketed it that way.
Hmm.
And a lot of companies have mass marketed it that way to where, you know, if you clean carpet, you clean upholstery. So they're really, um, you know, in all the areas that we help with, I don't see anybody searching for upholstery. But there is the niche cleaner that does the really high end stuff, the jacquard, you know, rayon, wool, you know, down feather stuffed couches, stuff that other people are just too scared to clean. And if that's you, then absolutely have an upholstery page because that allows you to um, really sell that you'll be able to take care of those fabrics properly, and then they're not going to get ruined. Um, but typically, I combine them. So I mean, really, like you said, about page. I see a lot of about pages getting, and obviously a contact page. You know, that's the other big one. On your contact page, if you have an actual location, you want to have your address there. It's a good idea to have your address on your contact page, anyways, just for Google, because they'll associate your address with your website, and that kind of helps your rankings as well. And there's some things that you can do. Um, you can enter structured data to where it helps even more so. Google tie your, well, it's called Google My Business now. It was formerly Google Plus page in your website. It helps them tie that together, and it just helps your ranking overall. So, in the long run. So
Okay.
homepage, about page, contact page, really. The other ones are, you know, sales pages. They're important, but those are the 3 big ones.
All right. Yeah, that sounds good. What about, let's talk about social media and how
Okay.
that could tie in and help us with our online presence. How would, if I know some guys kind of like really take off with Facebook, or more like Facebook than anything that I'm familiar with. I know there's Twitter, but in the cleaning
Right.
space, I don't see a lot of Twitter. You know, people taking off in Twitter for the cleaning industry anyway. But
Right.
Facebook seems like there's a fair amount of people who have very good results with Facebook ads and their Facebook page. So
hmm
tell us, what should we do here with Facebook?
You know, Facebook, you can consider it like as your basically another customer service section of your business. You know, it's an area that you can ask for reviews, you can ask for feedback, um, you know, and it really allows you to engage the clients kind of one on one. You know, you can hold conversations between your business and them there. It's a really smart idea to be involved with Facebook. As you said, you can do Facebook ads. You know, you can hold contests. I have clients that hold contests and give away like iPads or iPhones or um, other tablets or other goodies, or give away, you know, gift certificates to cleaning. There's different ways to hold contests, and it's actually for the amount of impressions that you get, it's really cheap. Like I know a client, you know, recently spent $50, and I think they got over 12,000 impressions
Hmm.
with their Facebook ads, which that's pennies on the dollar for people that saw it, that ad. And you know, you don't want to just do it once. You know, if you're gonna do something, you want to make sure if you make a commitment to do Facebook ads, you want to consistently do it. It's kind of like direct mail marketing. You know, a lot of people do it once and they
Hmm.
don't get a
Hmm.
return, and then they stop.
Right.
That's their biggest mistake. I think the average is it takes people 4 to 6 times to see your brand and your advertisement for them to want to call you, or at least even consider you. So you have to consider it that way. Think of it as a long-term investment, and find a budget that works. You don't have to start off with a couple $100 if you don't want to every month. You could spend $20 a week and you can get a lot of exposure for that $20 in your
Yeah.
area. And just, really back to that research thing, find out the smaller areas. Like if you live by a big metro area, find out where those smaller areas are that have that high end money if you're a high end cleaner. And then you can target by city on Facebook. I mean, you can do it with AdWords, but AdWords is a little different because AdWords relies on IP addresses and location stuff. So if you're in a smaller town, your internet service may be from, the next metro area, and you may either miss that, your ad may
Right.
miss there, or it may actually connect. It just depends. So it's not exactly reliable. Although with Google having their own internet and stuff, I imagine that's going to change because they'll be able to really be precise once that gets really nationwide. But that's down the road. But Facebook, people put where they're from, and
Yeah.
it'll target directly where they're from. So you can really hit specific areas. You can also filter by interest and things of that nature of where you want it to go. So absolutely, even if you did something like $5 to $10, I mean, you don't have to spend a ton of money. I know people that spend very little and get very high return. If anything, it's brand awareness. I mean, obviously, we all want to make returns on our investments. Some may be great, some may not work as well, and you have to look at that. Try to keep with the same ad, or if you're going to run some type of a special where you do a 3 room or something, just to kind of get in the door type of thing, and to gain client, especially somebody brand new. I've read about a couple of brand new companies that just did nothing but hit Facebook hard, and they did it for a year and a half, and then they raised their prices 15%, and marketed to their clients, via either email or direct mail or calling. Just simply calling them every 12 months and saying, hey, it's time for cleaning.
hmm
And then they quote the price, and a lot of them, they're already wowed. It's a good lead source. And again, it's a good customer service thing to where you can, really ask for feedback. I know that there's some companies that really ask some serious questions like, what more can we do? And just honestly answer that. And sometimes it's hard to face that criticism, but you should really welcome it because it'll make your company better. It'll make, your team better, whether you're an owner operator or multiple truck company. You'll just kind of embrace that and really consider, what your clients want. Obviously, if within reason. I mean, I'll usually joke and say, cheaper, but just really embrace that, and really use it.
But
So,
what about? Is there any like secret sauces or anything that people do with Facebook that one guy's successful and the other guy's not because the one guy is successful has something that he's not telling anybody about? Is there any hocus pocus here, or is it just hammering them over the head with messages all the time that seems to work better?
um, I think with you have to think there's also a lot of those garage sale sites and stuff on Facebook, which is another thing you should be targeting. You can actually leave comments as your business, and if you hit even if it's a sincere comment about something, comment as your business. But the guys that are successful are, they're running deals. There's high-end cleaners. More of the high-end cleaners give away things, like gift certificates and tablets and stuff like that.
hmm
Um, but the big thing is um, to get more exposure. You want people to share your post, and you want people to like it, because that will extend your organic reach, which means you don't have to pay for that. People
hmm
will see it.
Right.
But see, Facebook already has it to where basically a little over a third, or it might be just about a third, of your friends see what you post regularly, unless you regularly interact with every single person on your friends list.
hmm
For example, if you had 300 friends, literally maybe 100 friends might see what you post on if you
Right.
wonder if somebody's ignoring you. A lot of people don't know that
Hmm.
they think that everybody sees it and nobody likes them and they're not getting any engagement. Well, the reason is because Facebook set it up that way because they wanted to make money from businesses, which was smart because they make a lot of money from ads.
Right.
That's how Facebook works. They make their money on ad revenue. But you want to encourage people to like, share, and comment on your posts. So you have to come up with some creativity with those ads, and the people that are able to be creative to get people to really engage their ads or their posts that they make, are the ones that are successful, because like our business, ask them to like your business page first, because then they'll actually start getting your posts, in their feed, so you don't have to pay for it again.
Hmm.
Even though, again, they're not going to show it to everybody that's your follower, or that's liked your business page, but still, there's a better chance that they will. So, find a way to have them like it, share it, like, and comment. And if you can get, a good mix of all of that, one, you're going to get more exposure for less money. And, if you get more exposure, if organic exposure is more than you're paid, then it just makes it all the better. So
Right.
those things are really things you want to concentrate on.
Okay. All right. What do you? We're going to probably get into some trouble with some people on this one.
Hmm.
Tell us about Yodel. Is it part of? Is it a same thing as Yelp, Homestars, Thumbtack? I know those are pay-per-lead sites. Maybe
Right.
we'll take Yodel and talk about it by itself for those ranking services. But let's start with Yelp. Some guys have a lot of success with it. I know
Hmm.
some guys in Canada who are using Homestars to a pretty good degree.
Hmm.
I know some pool builders who are doing well with Thumbtack.
Right.
Not necessarily carpet cleaners. There probably
Right.
is some, but it seems like Yelp seems to be the big one for our industry. Tell us about what's going on there.
Okay. Yelp is traditionally a review service where your clients can leave reviews about your service. But the big thing with Yelp is if your client doesn't regularly leave reviews, a lot of times they'll filter them or remove them. They like people that are using their site over and over. So if you have a new client and you say, "Hey, give me a Yelp review," and they've never left a review there before, chances are it'll show up, or maybe for a short amount of time, and Yelp will actually remove it,
Hmm.
or it may stay. That's what we've found, and I've been on the boards and read a lot of different of the internet bulletin boards and just talking with people. They'll say, Yelp, all of a sudden, they build up 40 reviews and Yelp kicks it down to 15 or something crazy like that. Like that type of stuff happens. Google did that a lot too with an update, but Yelp also offers advertising. But this is, if you want to use Yelp, this is what I would suggest you do. Look up, go to Yelp and put in your city and look up restaurants and hotels and hospitality type businesses. Look to see if people are leaving reviews for those types of businesses in your area. If they're not, I wouldn't use Yelp, because hospitality type businesses are going to be the more popular ones that people are going to leave reviews. If there's a lot of them, like people have hundreds and hundreds of reviews, for a restaurant, then yeah, I would suggest, jumping on board, making sure that you should have a Yelp page anyways, just because it's a high authority directory listing. But to really push it, I know people out west, like in California and the West Coast, do really, really good. Here where we're at, I'm in Ohio. I'm about an hour, hour and a half, maybe away from Scott, down in Ohio. There's not a lot of people that I've found that have used Yelp so much. Down in Columbus, people use Yelp, which is about 2 hours south of me. But where I'm at, Toledo metro area, no. But then again, there's some East Coast places like New York, where people will use it. So it's kind of going to be hit and miss. There's no really guarantee that it's going to work. But one thing, like I said, I would check to see, just if people are using it in your area. And the easiest way to check is, look up restaurant reviews. And even look up other service companies, look up plumbers, look up HVAC, um, electricians, things like that. See if people are leaving reviews for them. And if they are, yeah, absolutely do it. And that's another thing that, then you can make decisions. Since Yelp offers ads and such like that, then you can make a conscious decision whether or not you want to pay for those ads. Um, if a lot of people are using them, it would probably be a thing. Like I know, I said a lot of people out on the West Coast really do well with Yelp ads, and that's exactly why, because people just absolutely use it like crazy. Um, so yeah.
Okay. And that's for Homestars and Thumbtack too. Are they both ranking sites as well,
Um, well,
or
Thumbtack is
review sites
they're
only?
all they're well, Thumbtack is more considered, I believe. I've heard goods and bads. I've heard people that have used it and they think they get fake leads.
Mm.
There's been that rumor that people that's just other people's opinion. I've never had somebody that actually really used it with success. It's just stuff that I've read, on boards on Facebook. Like I had a client that I set up an email address for them, and like every day the email still comes in, and there's 6 to 8 leads that come in a day from it.
Hmm.
But the names are always kind of odd. They almost seem like they're made up. But also you have to be careful because um, I don't know if Thumbtacks fix this, but sometimes you'll get like maid service type ads for a carpet cleaner when you don't offer it. I know in the beginning we got a lot of those. Like they wanted a
Hmm.
cleaner or a cleaning service is what
Mm.
they first did. I think they
Yeah.
have it limited down to carpet cleaners now, but they asked for a cleaning service. And I know one of my clients decided to try them for a couple of months, and all I got is a bunch of maid leads
Mm.
or home service leads. But again, um, when those types of companies approach you, do your due diligence. Like, I want some proof. Show me some numbers. If you can show me some I mean, I don't know if anybody's going to actually show you some true numbers. They'll probably be a little bit skewed or biased, but, do your due diligence. Don't just because somebody says it's awesome, um, to use it. I know
Mm-hmm.
cleaners have made that mistake. They see a bunch of cleaners from California, um, posting about Yelp, and they live over here, on the Midwest or the East Coast, and they took a ton of money and put it into it, and it never worked for them because nobody
Mm.
used it. They didn't do their due diligence. So, tell those companies, I want some real proof. And if they're not willing to show you numbers or anything, then as a business decision, I would say no. I mean, that's what I look at. Any purchases I ever make for our business, I want some real hard number proof that I can
Right.
justify my purchase. So,
All right. What about ranking sites? Sites
um,
that will take your tell us how that works first, because I don't know if when I first heard of the service Yodel, for instance, I was thinking it was Yelp. It was the same thing, but it's not. This is a while
no,
back, of course. I've heard a lot of. I don't mean to pick on just them, but there's other ranking
right,
services too.
right,
So tell us how that works and why it's bad and potentially bad. I guess for some people it might work, but let's hear your story.
right. I'll first say this. I'll say the good. If you're a brand new business that you don't have any internet presence, you haven't, showed Google what your phone number is or anything, and you're not anywhere else, having somebody like Yodel could definitely work. The reason why Yodel is bad is because a business that's been around 5 to 10 years, it will really mess up their NAP profile, which is name, address, and phone. Those things have to be consistent across the directory sites for Google to establish credibility with you. If your business name doesn't match to your address, to your phone number, they don't think you're a legitimate business. They think you're trying to break the rules and make multiple locations and things like that that aren't really true. What Yodel does is they take control of your directory listings, but they use their own phone number.
Mm.
Um, and sometimes I think they'll still use your same address, but they will use their own tracking number because they want to be able to prove to you how many calls they've gotten. So they'll use one of their tracking numbers and put it, submit a bunch of directories, whether they do it manually or they do it through an API, which is fancy word for a connection, a developer type connection to where it just sends a signal to create the page. And I'm not sure how they do it, but the issue with that is let's say your business has been around 5 to 10 years. Naturally, you build directory listings, even if you don't try to. You'll naturally build them. Data aggregators pick up information. When you file for an LLC, your business gets put out there. There's data aggregators that grab that information and they publish it out automatically. Um, Most people don't have 5 to 10 years to wait for their internet presence to build up, so that's why they hire somebody or do it themselves or what have you. So when Yodel puts out these directory listings that have a different number than what your main business is, Google gets confused. You have to think of it as Google's all it is a computer. It's a big computer, and you have to make things as simple as you can for them. If they see two different phone numbers, they're going to get extremely confused, and they're not going to know, okay, well, which number do your clients call? You can have more than one. um, like, let's say you did have multiple locations and you wanted to list 3 different numbers on like your header or something like that of your website, you can do that. But directory listings, you want to be consistent. If you do have multiple locations, then you would have multiple business directories. But at any rate, they see your name, your address, but then whoop, there's a different phone number, and they're like, well, okay, this isn't right. So you've lost credibility in Google's eyes, and that's the big thing of why Yodel can kill your SEO. Even something simple as, I mean, let's say you live on West Main Street and you put a period after W for West. Not having that and having that can be the difference of having a consistent
Wow.
NAP. Now, Google does know the difference between, you can spell out West, and they know the difference between that. Um, and having different an ST for street, and you can spell it out. That doesn't matter. But those little simple things can make the big difference between, your NAP profile being consistent. And it takes Google a long time to do all that, because you figure how many businesses are listed on those websites,
Yeah.
and it takes them a while to pick up all that and then figure out, okay, put all the connect all the dots to figure, okay, yeah, all this is consistent for this company, so they're credible, so we're going to give them a higher ranking in the places area, the my business area, on the searches. I mean, but it does take a long time for them to do that. But that's the short answer of it. I don't like people having control of how my business appears to anybody.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people feel the same. That's my big hang up. When we do directories, you have access to everything. That's the thing. You don't so much have access, as I understand from Yodel. They control all of your directory listings. When we do it, we set up a email address and a password, and we give it to you, and we show you here. This is how you log in. If you want to change something, put a special. If you want to change your business description, whatever you want to do to it, we just say, don't do this, don't do this, don't do that, so it doesn't hurt what we've done. But we give you total access to everything, and we just have it. So if we need to make changes, we have it. If you want to make some changes, you have it. And that's the ultimate thing, is you having control of your information. And that's the other, I mean, even more than messing up your SEO. I'm not a big fan of like management companies that do advertising and stuff and all that type of thing. I mean, I guess a good example of that would be the whole IICRC thing. That was a total debacle when they tried to do the rebranding and everything, and it kind of still is. And giving somebody else control of that is just, it's just not good. I wouldn't do it. I know a lot of other people that won't, but there are people that will, and it's my opinion that they're making a really big mistake with that.
I'll tell you one thing I liked about WoolSafe is that when we pass the WoolSafe exam, they actually give us access to fill in our own profile.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
so you fill it in any way you want, and obviously you'd want to keep it congruent with what you've already registered in other sites.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was really cool. We just filled ours out about a month ago, and there it was. They just give you a blank slate, and including they give you a spot on there to have like your own work too. Like if we have a playlist, a video playlist that we put up there on our own
Right.
profile. So we've had people, where'd you find us? WoolSafe. And did you see our profile? Yeah, I liked your videos. So that, for
Awesome.
us, I was thinking that's pretty unique, and it's hopefully if and when IICRC comes back around, they do something similar to that. Got that,
Exactly.
IICRC? And what's the other group? There's a new one, ICRA. Is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
ICRA, so maybe they'll pay attention to that too for their directory listings.
Right, absolutely.
Okay, let's talk about. Let's say that I'm in a big area with a bunch of fierce competition, and I'm trying to rank, and here I am, just a carpet cleaner, and there's all these hundreds or even thousands of carpet cleaners ahead of me.
Hmm.
What should I do? I mean, am I just pay a ton of money to get my search engines fixed, or what? Give me some direction.
The thing with a metro area, a big area, is people have to understand. I mean, I've just based on my own experience and people that are, I would even say, better than me, that have been doing it longer, that have been around the block for a long time. This is what they say as well. Big metro areas take a minimum, and this is if you've got a decent big budget, of 6 to 9 months to start ranking near page one, at least, or maybe at the bottom. Um, it's really a consistent marketing thing that you have to do for at least a year to see something out of it. So what I would do is find, outer lying areas that have clients there. Create city pages on your website. And what I mean by a city page is, let's say you offer carpet, tile, and water damage restoration. So what you do is, let's say you have 5 cities that surround that big metro area. Create a carpet cleaning page for each city. So you'd have, carpet cleaning city one state, carpet cleaning city two state, carpet cleaning, and so on. Um, and then you can actually start doing things like Facebook ads to drive traffic. Target specific cities on Facebook, and then direct them to those pages specifically.
I see.
If you can direct traffic from that city to a specific page, you're going to win in the ranking arena. It'll happen a lot faster. The one thing that you have to, since Facebook is so cheap compared to other, online marketing avenues, that's something that I would do. And then again, do it for your tile cleaning pages. So essentially, you'd be creating 15 pages. Um, a lot of times for the home page, I like to keep that for whatever main area, whatever your business is in, that city, make that for your home page. So you'd want, the title to, reflect carpet cleaning in that city. You want to have the address, there. I like putting addresses in like a footer on the right side, putting the address there so it's on every single page. So you really don't have to worry about Google finding it on a contact page. And again, you can put that structured data within there that helps Google identify you a little easier. But I would do that. Find the smaller areas because it's going to take time. Anybody that says that they can rank you within, a certain amount of time. What I do is when people ask me, I give them, experience, my experiences. I can never really give a certain date, but again, there's other ways to drive traffic without having to rank. People get really caught up in ranking and where they rank. There's clients that I have that are at the bottom of page one that get a ton of calls, and they're nowhere near the top yet.
How do they do that? How do they do that?
Well, they can do that with video. There's a lot of those clients do a lot of print ads, and what they'll do is they'll have their website there or make them go to their website for a special offer of some sort. Videos actually rank. It's a lot easier for me to rank a video than it is to rank a website. And the reason why is you, especially on YouTube. YouTube already has the authority built up. Google owns YouTube, so they already consider
Right.
YouTube a reputable source. So you can actually do it fairly quickly, within a couple of months to be able to rank videos. Yeah, there's a certain way you have to do it, but it's possible because what you're doing is you're building up domain authority and for your website. You have to build up Google's trust and call you a trusted source, and you have to be higher than your competition. Again, that takes time. It's like anybody building up a reputation.
Hmm.
It just doesn't happen within a couple of months. A lot of people want to. A lot of people don't have that. That's our bigger hang up in our side of things, is that people want to rank within like a month. Like carpet cleaners especially, and I understand it because, you know, we, vacuum the carpet, we pre-spray it, we agitate it, we clean it, we see the results right there.
Hmm.
We get self-satisfaction from the work, and that's why I loved it, because you
Hmm.
love doing a good job and being able to see it right away. It's not the same with marketing, and a lot of the big problem is people aren't marketers and they don't understand it. Again, it goes back to an example of a direct mail campaign. That's what I consider building up organic ranking. You have to basically tell Google, hey, you're there, and say hi, um, and build up your authority by getting links on reputable sites and things like that, and do it in a way that um, Google thinks you know something about what the title of your webpage is, and um, to do that, um, you know, here's one big thing that you can do. If you can get a local news to write an article about your company or something, or you write articles for your newspaper.
Hmm.
Most newspaper companies have digital versions of their website. Google crawls that. Google loves when people get backlinks from news websites.
Hmm.
Those are huge. They're huge. Um, you know, that can be the difference of you sticking the number. Once you get to where you want to be on your rankings, that can be the difference between staying there and your competition not being able to beat that, because they can't beat that one
Hmm.
link.
Right.
Even if you have to pay some money, like somebody asks, how much would you be willing to pay for a link? Well, I had a client that did just that, and they were one of our first clients, and they've ranked position A, or the first position on Google Places, and the top three organically for the last 4 years.
Hmm.
And obviously, we keep building links and such,
Hmm.
but nobody has that type of a link. And um, working with other businesses, you have to do this very, very carefully. You don't want everybody linking to each other, but having a resource page of some sort, doing kind of like an every other, um, you have to set it up to where basically nobody's linking to each other, but having a local resource page, like if there's, I know Scott, you like to work with local companies, visit local restaurants, the smaller
Hmm.
owned ones, working with them, and say, hey, can you add a link on our website? Um, and what we could actually do is, like on a tier one link that we could create two different links on that page. But because that page would have to do something with like Brighton, um, that content has to do with Brighton, so it has relevancy for that business and you. We can create a link, put it on there, and it helps them. That's little things that I work with cleaners to do, and that's why I want to work with multiple companies within one area, because that's an example of stuff that we can do. We
Hmm.
can help build all those links because we can create relevant content, and that helps how much link juice, what we call link juice, how much power that link has. We can manipulate that in a way to where it's powerful. It's amazing. I've seen it done, um, with a couple other companies that have done it, that provide similar services to us. But it's awesome. So,
How would you?
but
Sorry, go ahead.
excuse me.
What were you
Go
saying?
ahead.
How would you go about finding people or businesses? Now we work with, dozens and dozens here locally, and we talk to the person in charge, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll do that," and they don't do it. And we give them a link. But
Right.
how do you get them back? What's a good strategy to get people to backlink you?
Um.
I mean, I won't say it in all cases, but there's a
Right. Right.
there's a fair majority that say, "Yeah, we'll do it," and then they just get busy and never do it. So.
Right. Or they don't have the means to do it. That's the funny part. Yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Hey, who built our website?" And they don't have the access to
Mhm.
the content
Right.
to actually be able to do it. Because a lot of people don't understand is, oh yeah, okay. Um, if more people had understood the value, but really, coming together and forming a group with people that have the same wants and desires, like in their business, wanting to work for the same type of people. If you guys all service high-end clients, you could even mix a high-end restaurant, that you buy $40, $50 steaks from, or whatever,
Hmm.
it is, a steakhouse, or 30 to 50, whatever, people consider high-end, and then a really good plumber, tell them, hey, this is what we want to do. Basically, kind of, it's your own little small networking group. Um, and I mean, the best way, either you could send an email, um, you know, and explain, but I mean, nothing really beats face to face, in my opinion, of, picking up the phone and asking to talk about it. We
Yeah.
have this idea, we want to help you, you help us. It kind of goes back to the BNI concept
Hmm.
of what BNI is, but you make
Give
it
to get.
more, yeah, yeah, you make it more tight knit. It's not such a big group. It might be three of you, or it could be as much as 10 of you. It just all depends, especially on your area. But getting people to backlink you, I mean, without creating the links yourself, you have to create good content.
Hmm.
Um, and you have to make it shareable, um, easily shared, which is another thing. If you have a website, you want to make sure that there's a share button for all the social media platforms out there, Facebook, Twitter. Even though people don't use Twitter so much, like Scott said, for carpet cleaning, it's good to get that info out there to everywhere. Um, but yeah, having useful content, like for example, if you had a plumber friend um, in your restoration company, you could create a checklist, write a checklist article together. What should the clients do before winter hits so that they don't have a pipe burst? Even though
Hmm.
you kind of, it's kind of a funny industry, we want them because we want the business, but again, we still, you know, integrity and everything, we really don't want to see bad things happen to good people. But giving them a checklist, checking the insulating the outside spigot or stuff like that, making
Right.
sure that the insulation's good, all those types of things you could have. You guys write a checklist and, blast it out there. Put it out to Facebook, put it out to, everywhere that you can. And you can do it a lot manually. There's software that you can use to do that, but um, having that type of info and collaborating, that's the easiest way to get people to link to you, is just having useful stuff. It's somewhat hard in the carpet thinning industry. That's why you have to generate a lot of your own links. But it is doable. It's not impossible, but it is hard. I'll admit it is.
Let's talk about video. Is it?
Video.
You said video. You can get a site ranked a lot faster with video than you can with an organic site.
Okay.
So, where should somebody start when they want to do a video? Just give us a run through on what a good video should look like.
I have a lot of people that start out with like before and afters, just slideshows. Just take a slideshow of pictures, and turn it into a video. You could do it with Windows Movie Maker.
Hmm.
As simple as that. You don't need any fancy software or anything like that. Scott and I use a similar program for screen capturing, and you can end up, doing something like that. Or actually, Scott does a lot of videos, which is awesome. Um, because he can link them back to his site. That's the other thing you have to look at. As many videos as you can create, you can link back to your website on YouTube. And you can even put other, data in there, like location data and things like that. But even something as simple as you know, even if it's a 30 to 50-second video of before and afters, the first slide, you want your company name, you want your phone number, a website if you have it, social media icons if you use, if you're on social media with your business. Um, you want people to be able to see that for a long time, um, you know, so that they could write it down if they need to. And then you want to wow them with the video. Start off with simple stuff like that. It doesn't cost you any money to take your cell phone and start saving some pictures, and it might take you 45 minutes to create the video if you've never done it before. Um, when I first started doing that, I'm not the best at video creation by any means, but I can, work around the software well enough. Um, it would take me half hour, 45 minutes to create a video for somebody that's before and after to get the pictures right and all that. And then your last slide, again, you want all your contact information there. Like Scott does. Scott does a lot of, he just does a lot of videos of everything. I mean, I'm actually amazed at how many videos that Scott has, because he has videos of things I never even thought of making videos about. And the other thing is you can also write about those things in your blog with WordPress. You can actually write about them and put the video there, but then have the explanation below, which is great. Again, getting people, to stay on your website longer, see the video, read the text. It all plays into a factor of ranking your website. But what I was actually talking about is actually ranking the video for your keywords. Like people, it'll show up in the organic search results.
Right. Okay.
So those will usually show up pretty high within the top 4 organically, which is just awesome, because the more the other thing that you can do is you can also rank your directory listings by creating backlinks to those in a certain way as well. And if there's a lot of different pages, like if there's videos and there's directory listings, if you'll look, a lot of the organic results, that person that's number 1, you'll find that their Yelp page is there, or their Yellow Book or Yellow Pages listing is there on page 1. That's a lot of the reason why they rank, because they have such a high authoritative website ranking on page 1 for that keyword that has their backlink. So that's another thing to consider too. Obviously you can only do that within your location, or wherever your business or businesses are located. But it is, that's one of the things that we do. We get the fundamentals done first, and then we just start looking at, getting this other stuff ranked, and slowly but surely, if you have, if you're if you're letter A on places, and if you're, within the top 3 organic, you have a video top 3 organic, and you have one of your directory listings up on page 1, if you're on page 1 4 or 5 times,
Yeah.
a big chance you're going to get clicked on. And
Yeah.
I mean, that takes some time to do. It doesn't happen overnight, but, as you grow, you need to ensure that you get more call volume from the internet. So that's something that we do as we grow your internet presence. So, videos are huge. Again, people are visual. They want to, it's got to make them feel good. It's got to make them want to call you. And like I said, Scott, if he needs, examples, Scott and I have talked a lot. The more information that's out there that's good for our industry, it improves our industry as a whole. And Scott does a good job at putting out good information, for consumers, and it helps a lot. So.
I learned that from a company who builds pools here locally. And if you want to look them up, it's called askthepoolguy.com. And these guys build Disney-esque style pools, backyard pools, that start at $100,000 on up. And this is a local company. We're not in a metro area. We're in a very small, 50,000 people. I think might be 1 million people in a 1-hour drive around us. So it's not a huge area, but it's incredible to me that they were able to, and they're just, to pardon the pun, but they're flooded with work. They've got people that are on backup, and their pools again started $100,000 on up, and they don't have enough manpower to create pools in the still profitable $75,000 space, or even $50,000 space. So they turn away 90-something% of the people who call. And so their claim to fame, though, was they did videos starting 3 to 5 years ago. They started doing a lot of videos. And I meet with them once a week, and we talk about how these, how the videos have helped them.
Right.
And they say the same thing. It's not really the quality of the particular video. It's just make sure it's helpful. And in their philosophy is you help millions of people by answering common questions that we are experts on in the cleaning space and restoration, that how many millions of people out there are wondering, or hundreds of thousands are wondering the same thing. Well, that doesn't mean that they're in our service area, but it doesn't mean we shouldn't market to them either, because the way that it works is that it comes back to you as the expert. And I don't know if it's some kind of crazy magic that Google has for authority, but it just seems the more videos we do, the higher ranking we get, just naturally, because now we're being helpful.
Right.
And so that's what they said. They said just do a lot of videos, make sure the content is. You can do jokey stuff if you want to, but the majority of them should be serious questions and answers and helpful tips.
Right.
But they have over 1,000 videos now in just a few years.
Yeah.
So that I've heard from other people too, and other experted videos, that you really don't show up on the map. And he sells to the entire world. He's not a local cleaner.
Right.
But in his particular market, he didn't show up until he did his 600th video. And so that really kind of hit me too, is like, wow, and that's now. Maybe later it'll be 1,000 and 1,500 and just, sequentially upward. So I figured if we're going to be serious about this video stuff, that we need to do as many good quality videos now before that number grows from 600 to 1,000 to 1,500.
Right.
And so
Well,
it's helped us.
yeah. And the thing is excuse me. There there just aren't very many people doing it. The thing with the internet marketing thing is people finally catch on, and by the time they catch on, it's same with really any marketing trend if you think about it, but it's especially true online just because of the vast majority of information that's out there that people can learn. They're kind of late to the game.
Hmm.
I mean, honestly, people right now, they're a little bit late to the video game. YouTube's been out for a long while, um, but it helps, and it just helps. Like we're getting ready to do. That's one of our big goals for next year is to have several hundred videos, and we're going to have a YouTube channel um, that basically answers all the little silly questions that we get asked. Or how do you do this? How to add your website to Google Webmaster Tools, how to look through Google Analytics, what does the information mean? How to set up your meta tags properly. We want to help people do that stuff. Um, just because it's good information to be out there. I mean,
Yeah.
there's people that have made the videos before, but if people keep watching and having the same information come out from experts, um, then they know that that's what you need to do. Because with SEO, there's everybody has their own little different shtick. Some are really good at AdWords, some are good at ranking organically, some are good at ranking locally, some are great at video. I mean, they all have their specific, thing that they can do really, really well. We want to be the more well-rounded company, and that's really good at all of it. And so we also want to help people because no matter what you do, you can't help there's always going to be the do-it-yourselfers. Carpet cleaners, you got the rug doctors. You can't really fight with that, but we want the information to be out there and good because it proves that you're the expert. If you can get a lot of views with that, a lot of people can't make comments of how they agree and such, and engage people with the comments on the videos. You're gonna have your troll here or there, the
Hmm.
person that wants to get at your nerve to say something silly, but that's going to be more far and few between if you're putting out good info. And like I mentioned, it's good for an industry as a whole if somebody in California finds Scott's video about pet urine and how you can treat it, and then they can see okay, this is how it should be treated. I know that he did one with a cushion, and he showed how they properly treat it, and that's what you have to do to get results. And so that person in California has the ammo to ask a company, hey,
Hmm.
do you do this? And the coupon guy is probably going to say no. They
Yeah.
don't do this.
Right.
The high end guy is going to say, yeah, we go through and we do all that, and
Hmm.
we have our own special enzyme that we use, and da 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 da. And okay, great, that helps the high end guy. Not to say that the coupon, I'm not biased one way or another because all of them have their part in the marketplace,
Right.
but the coupon guy does serve usually a specific type of client, um, and the high end serves their own. So I mean, there's no really right or wrong.
There's room for
They're all
everybody. Yeah.
there is, and that's a whole nother funny topic and debate that we could have, but there really is, because you can't have all high-end cleaners. It's just impossible. You just can't. So just like you can't have all high-end SEO people. You can go to India and you could buy packages from India that are
Right.
basically SEO in a box. And could it work? Yeah, absolutely. I would be lying if I didn't admit that. Um, Early on, when I had my carpet cleaning company, I didn't have time to do that, so I researched what a company did, and I bought it. I bought for a couple of months, and we were able to rank the website. But since then, that company's doesn't do so well, because I test to see what types of links they got, because that's when I was learning really, really big. I was kind of doing this half time and had the carpet cleaning company. Um, I shop people like that. I shop my industry competition. I know what I guess there's two or three other people in the industry um, that do what we do. We all do the same thing, and I know what all of them are doing. I know what type of links they build. So, um, but yeah, videos. They're You need them. You should want them. Um, I mean, they're going to help not only help your online presence. That's another. People may not look for carpet cleaning on YouTube, but when they search for it, your video can get up there. There's a cleaner that I have down in Florida. Um, if you search for like tile cleaning and paper cleaning, you're gonna find their video ranked at either number one position organically, or at least in the top three. And that video is from back in 2010,
Holy
and it's
cow.
been ranking. And it's been ranking since we got it ranking. Like, we started with them. Um, 2012, and it took us about 3 months to get it up there, and it's never left those top three positions.
Wow.
And just on authority alone, really, I mean, we really haven't done a whole lot to have to maintain that. Every once in a while we have to let Google know that, yes, we still want to rank for this and provide backlinks and stuff like that. And um, we link to it within his content and stuff like that. That's another thing. The videos that you create, put them on your website, like I said before.
You
Don't
mean
just create.
backlink them, not upload them to your website?
No, you can do both. Upload them. Well, not upload. Yeah, backlink, or embed them.
Embed.
Embed them on
Yeah.
your website. Yeah, embed them. Um, you know, because that gives you credit, for keeping a person on the page longer if they're on that page. Which you could, like I said before, you could actually rank a website really, really high based on just traffic alone, without a single backlink. I've seen it done. It happens, all the time. Eventually, backlinks become natural when you get a lot of traffic, but you can, where you really don't have to build them. You can just drive traffic, which YouTube's a big way to do it. To be able to get people to go to your website. So you can also use was it Vimeo, but I'm not a big fan, because commercially you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
So YouTube's free, and which then you could use YouTube ads if you really wanted to at a later date, to target specific areas, which is that's when you would actually want a well formulated commercial created by a really professional company if you're going to use YouTube ads. But there's people that have gotten to that point that have 5, 6, 7 trucks that they target their users with YouTube ads, which is a whole other thing. But starting off with videos first, that's the best way.
Yeah.
Really
Cool.
good way to do it.
Well, it's been an hour and 13 minutes. Shall we wrap it up, or do we keep going? Did you have anything in specific you wanted to bring up?
No, if anybody would like to get in touch with me, my email address is steven@bfounusa.com. I'm happy to answer anybody's questions. One thing, I don't sell people. I don't like being sold myself. I can simply, answer what we provide. And you can make a decision whether or not it works for your company. I've grown tremendously over the last 3 years on that. And I'm happy to help people out too. I help people out, within reason, get you steered in the right direction. And if that works for you, great. If you need a little more, then obviously we're here to help. I'm on Facebook all the time, and on the carpet cleaning pages. Throw a question up there, I'll answer it, as best as I possibly can, or send me a private message, email. You can even call me on the phone. Our phone number is there on our website, and again, it's befoundusa.com. Um, I mean, really, that's all I'm happy to, help, people in the industry. Obviously, I can't spend, 6 hours on the phone with you explaining how to do everything. I've had people try to do that, and, love them to death, but uh, I'm happy to help, tell you what's wrong. I always give free audits to your website. I can take a look at it, look at the structure, look at the content, make suggested changes. And some people do that and they do really well and they make money, and I didn't make a dime, and I'm okay with that. And there's some people that are like, I don't want to mess with it. I want you to do it. And that's just how it is. But again, happy to help anybody that could need it. And don't be afraid to get in touch.
Great. All right, Stephen. Well, I thank you very much for your time. I remember you when we first met, actually.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? We actually stayed in a campground and is in Ohio, and
Day.
you were like, hey, I'm down the road from you. So yeah, you came in, and what I liked about you the most is that you asked a lot of questions that were
Yeah.
pertinent because you seem like a big sponge. And I
Yeah.
really, it really struck me at the time. I don't know if you knew this, but my wife and I were talking about it. It's like, she goes, "Who was that guy?" It's like, he's a carpet cleaner. He's just starting out, and she goes, "Wow, he's gonna be something someday." And you're literally just out of
I
like your
think I,
first year of college or something. You were
um,
like 20, 21 at the most.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
you're
I was 20, 20,
20.
21,
Yeah.
22. Yeah, one of the two.
But we both were very impressed by the way that you carried yourself, and you asked the
Thank you.
right questions, and yeah, from that point on, I was like, if he ever does something, that he can help us, then we're all over it. So thanks
Right.
again, Stephen. I'm gonna
No
wrap
problem.
this up and get it on YouTube. That's what we do. So thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your evening or day. Take care.
Thanks.